So, you're looking to ship goods from Shanghai. It's pretty much the engine of global trade, but actually getting your stuff from there to, well, here can feel a little complicated. In this explainer, we're going to demystify that whole process for you, from the port right to your front door. Right? If you're an importer or you run an e-commerce business, you know this question. It feels like there are a million options, and the choice you make can seriously impact your costs and your timing. So let's break it all down and figure out the best path for you. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with why Shanghai is such a massive hub. Then we'll dive into the big debate, air versus sea. We'll look at the super convenient DDP option, check out overland routes, and cover the fastest way to get small packages out. And then we'll wrap it all up to help you make the right call. Let's jump in. First things first, to really get a handle on shipping from Shanghai, you have to appreciate the just incredible scale of the place. It's not just another port city, it's really the beating heart of the entire global supply chain. Get this, over 45 million container units move through this port every year. To put that in perspective, that's more than one container being shipped every single second of every single day. That unbelievable volume is what makes Shanghai the busiest port on the planet. And it's not just the seaport. Shanghai is a complete logistics machine. You've got one of Asia's biggest international airports, you've got seamless connections to rail and road, and a super efficient customs system that keeps things moving. That whole integrated system is what makes it such a go-to for buyers all over the world. All right, now for the first big decision you're going to face. And honestly, it almost always boils down to a classic trade-off, right? Speed versus cost. This is the core of the whole air versus sea freight debate. Look, the choice here is pretty straightforward, but absolutely critical. With air freight, you're basically paying a premium to get your goods in under a week. It's fast. With sea freight, you're trading that speed for some massive cost savings, especially if you're shipping anything big or heavy. So let's put some numbers on it. For a 100-kilogram air shipment, you're looking at several dollars per kilo. That's exactly why it's the go-to for high-value, time-sensitive stuff. Think brand new electronics, a hot fashion drop, or urgent samples where that speed is totally worth the price. Now compare that to sea freight. For just a couple $1,000, you can move an entire 20-foot container. Your cost per item just plummets. The takeaway here is really clear. For bulk orders, heavy products, the money you save with sea freight is just unbeatable. But wait, what if your main priority isn't just speed or cost, but simplicity? What if you just want your goods to show up at your warehouse without you having to deal with customs and a mountain of paperwork? Well, that's where DDP shipping comes in. DDP stands for Delivered Duty Paid, and you can basically think of it as the all-inclusive resorts of the shipping world. Your freight forwarder handles everything, picking up the goods, clearing customs in China, clearing them again in your country, and even paying the duties for you. All you have to do is be there to receive the delivery. It's that simple. I mean, look at these steps. Every single one of these, pickup, customs, transport, is a potential headache, right? A bunch of paperwork and coordination. DDP just bundles all of that into one smooth, seamless service. It's a huge favorite for businesses that would rather focus on their products instead of becoming logistics experts. So we've got air, which is fast but pricey, and sea, which is cheap but slow. Is there a happy medium? You bet. For routes heading to Europe and Central Asia, overland shipping by rail and truck can offer the perfect balance. This timeline really tells the story. Rail freight to Europe can shave a full 2 weeks off the sea transit time, clocking in around 20 days. And it's way, way cheaper than air. It's this powerful sweet spot between speed and cost that can make a supply chain so much more efficient. And hey, for destinations that are a bit closer, don't forget about trucking. When it comes to cross-border transport inside Asia, trucking offers amazing flexibility and speed. I mean, getting your goods from Shanghai to Vietnam in less than a week by truck, that's a fantastic option a lot of people overlook. But what about the really small stuff? A few product samples you need to approve, or one small order that has to get to a customer with maximum urgency? That's where express couriers like DHL, UPS, and FedEx totally shine. For anything under about 10 kilograms, this is hands down your fastest and simplest choice. You get door-to-door service, you get full tracking, and you're looking at transit times of just a few business days to pretty much anywhere in the world. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. Sea, air, DDP, rail, express. So now let's pull it all together and help you make the right call for your specific shipment. This right here, this little matrix is pretty much the key takeaway for this whole explainer. It's really simple. Just start with your number one priority. If it's the absolute lowest cost for your bulk goods, the answer is sea freight. If it's all about maximum speed, you're looking at air freight or express. And if you just want it to be easy, totally hassle-free, you go with DDP. It's all about matching what you need most with the right solution. And finally, please remember this crucial point. Picking the method is only half the battle. The other half is picking the right partner on the ground in Shanghai. A great, reliable freight forwarder is what turns your plan into a successful delivery. They're the ones who manage the process, solve problems when they pop up, and make sure your cargo gets where it needs to go. So once you've really dialed in your shipping from a global hub like Shanghai, logistics stops being a barrier, and it actually becomes an engine for your growth. The only question left is, what are you going to build next? Thanks so much for joining me.